Hey, what's up guys? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So I gotta tell you, you gotta start getting excited now. It is almost spring. I know it's like kind of the later parts of February, but I'm telling you, there's signs of spring everywhere. In fact, my friends up in the Illinois and Indiana areas this weekend had temperatures like in the 55 to 58 range. So I know that that's getting you guys excited, it's giving you a taste of spring, and it's getting you fired up. Now here in Florida, we're pretty much coming into the throes of full-on spring. In fact, things are starting to grow again. And because of that, it's gonna give me a chance to go ahead and start my rehab on this side of my lawn this year, which is gonna be plugged with St. Augustine. But before I can go getting too crazy putting plugs in this lawn and doing all that, I've got to create a lot more sunlight here. And I've got to get rid of some of these junk trees, like that one and that one. You see, because lawn care isn't always just about cutting and fertilizing and watering. Sometimes there's parts of your landscape that you can adjust and move around, and that will also benefit your lawn. And in early spring, a great thing to do is look at your shade-sun composition. And if you need to allow more sunlight into the lawn, because let's face it, sunlight is what makes photosynthesis occur. If you can create more sunlight in the lawn, you're going to increase the thickness of the lawn naturally. But before we go getting too crazy, let's review what I've got to take care of first. All right, so here's the house. So that scrub tree right there is going. I'm going to go ahead and keep the oak. I know that was a little bit of a decision I had to make. This scrub tree here, which is a holly, is going, overgrown holly. I've got two more scrubs here. These are cedars, like that one over there. And then there's another cedar back behind it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scrub trees I've got to take down. And so what's cool about this is about the beginning of December, the Echo company reached out to me and said, hey, we have this ambassador program. And what we want to do is we want to send you the tool of your choice from our inventory. Imagine that, the tool of my choice from the Echo inventory. We're going to send it to you. And in return, we would just like you to review it. And I'm like, okay, because I already love your products. I've got a blower and a weed whacker, which you guys I'll link below. I've reviewed both of those in the past. But I'm like, sure, Echo, if you want to send me something, you know what I actually need is a chainsaw. So the next thing I have to do is make sure I wear all the proper safety equipment. And the good news is you've kind of seen in the previous frames here, Echo supplied everything I need. Okay, so now I've got hand protection, I've got chainsaw chaps on to protect my legs, as well as hearing protection, head protection, eye and face protection, and then I've supplied my own steel-toed shoes. One thing's for sure, no matter how this review goes, I will definitely be able to dress up as one of the village people this year for Halloween. Alright guys, so this is Echo's CS490 50.2cc chainsaw. Now this saw, they're kind of selling this in the market of like farmer, rancher, heavy firewood cutter kind of market. So they have probably 10 or 12 different models that you can choose from. This is what I would call a really good quality, again, prosumer saw. I don't see this being used in heavy tree services on a daily basis, but I also don't see this as being something you're going to pack away in your shed and use, you know, once a year for a half an hour. If you're somebody that's got some land with quite a few trees on it and things fall and need to clean things up, or you're also someone that does a lot of winter firewood hauling and things like that, this saw is perfect for you. So I'm going to give you some general chainsaw advice that comes from my own experience. The first is get a chainsaw that is at least 50cc. Anything less and you're going to be underpowered for some of the larger jobs you might come up against. Just to give you an idea, 50 cc's is enough to get through a pretty decent stump, and I'm going to show you some of that here at the end of the video. The next piece of advice I'll give you is make sure you get at least an 18-inch bar. A 20 would be even better. I think a 16, especially when you use a tip guard like I do here, a 16 can end up being a little bit too short and may not be able to do all the jobs that you need it to. An 18 or a 20 is a much better bet. And then the third piece comes down to price. For me, I like to buy professional quality equipment, but I don't want to pay a professional price. This kind of plays into a segment of the market called the rancher market. Stihl has a rancher model chainsaw that's right around 50 cc's, and so does Husqvarna. For me, the term that I would use is prosumer. And so when I look at this saw against its competition, which to me, again, is going to be Stihl and Husqvarna, I'm gonna get this saw at a 50 cc with a lot of professional type options and a weight that's just over 10 pounds. I'm gonna get that for $349, $359, right in that range. If I'm gonna go for the comparable steel, I'm gonna be over $400, and if I'm gonna go for the comparable Husqvarna, I'm gonna be probably over $450. Even the camera is getting into the action today. So when it comes down to it, to get a prosumer quality saw that's 50 cc's and meets the requirements that I want, for me, a homeowner, Echo is the best decision. I'm not going to sacrifice any quality or any power, but I'm going to save myself $50 to $100. And you guys see I run the 50-to-1 pre-mixed fuel through it. This saw will pretty much last me a lifetime, and that's what I'm looking for in this kind of a purchase. Now you guys know I didn't buy this saw. If I did, I would have bought it from my local dealer. However, these are also available at Home Depot. And the same exact saw that you can get from your dealer is the same exact saw that you can get in Home Depot. There's no difference. I just prefer to work with my local dealer, as I know many of you do too. All right, check this out. That was sped up, but not much. Check this out. So there you go, all done. Been a heck of a day. You can see I got everything down. It's all gone now. Of course, now comes the part that at least I hate the most, and that's the cleanup. Using power tools is a lot of fun, but it's always nice to hire someone else to clean up. So check this out, it's the next day. I got everything taken down. As you guys know, I said the cleanup part is the part that I hate the most. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And then all of a sudden, one of my neighbors comes over, Don, and he says, I can help you out with that. So we're getting this done today. So if you're in St. Petersburg, hire this guy. Any kind of landscaping you need. He also does a lot with irrigation. For those of you guys that know that live in Florida, I mean, you pretty much have to have irrigation if you're gonna have a lawn. So again, I'll put Don's information below. And I gotta tell you, it's always nice to have a resource. When you're a lawn care nut, it's nice to have a pro resource, and that's what Don is. And he happens to be one of my neighbors too. So there you go, guys. Step one of the lawn rehab started today, creating some sunlight. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below, ask me some questions, we'll start a dialogue. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Also click below in the link, and you can join me on Facebook, where I also do quite a bit of banter and things like that, and where we also share lawn tips, and mostly we share lawn pictures. If you want to share a picture of your lawn and you're dominating of your neighbor, share it to me on Facebook. Like the page there, and then tag me in a post, and I'll share it along to the rest of the visitors. I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lawn. Hey guys, alright, thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. So a couple things to talk about here before we move on to the next video. The first thing is, if you're just new here and you've never heard of this channel before, just go Google search The Lawn Care Nut and you'll find me. Would love to have you as a subscriber on YouTube, where we talk about lawn care tips almost every single week. Next, I'd like to really thank the Echo Company. They've been great to work with, and this saw truly is a really good unit. I'm really glad to have this in my arsenal, and I've got a perfect spot for it in my shed. I'll make sure it doesn't get thrown and rattled around and it gets taken care of properly. Finally, I have a video coming very soon after this one of me running the CS490 right through the stumps and seeing how that looks. I may even try to do an overhead camera rig for it. So once again, my friends, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys up north are staying warm. Spring is almost here. As always, I'm Alan Hain. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the lawn.